Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome to EVE Talk, your weekly look at the markets in EVE Online. Now today's EVE Talk is with my main character, because it is Burn Jita right now, and I am here with this little Vexor you saw. It's over there. To try and either scoop some loot or get on some kill mails, stuff like that. So I'm just testing things out a little bit, but I was having a decent amount of fun after work last night. So yeah, it's been going quite well. Need to work out some kinks, but I'm trying to have some fun in Burn Jita myself as well. Now, before I start on our look at the market, I also want to give a quick shout out to the Resilient Roamers. This is a channel that is open to anyone that wants to do some roams with somewhat more organized fleets, I should say. So the person running most of this is Tabs27. You can also join the mailing list called Resilient Roamers with two capital R's here. And what I do really like about the way Tabs is doing his roams is that he gives you a number of fits that you can bring, including some logistics and with a clear philosophy. Something like shield cruisers and battle cruisers mostly. But let me have a quick look here, for instance. Let's go for this here. He gives you a lot of fits that you can choose from. Here, for instance, the idea was mostly battle cruisers, but there are also Vexor Osprey fit. There is also some faction cruiser fits, and so you don't have to go in blind or wondering what can I take with me on one of these roams. You actually get a big variety of possible fits that you can just prepare if you want to join one of these roams. Of course, it's called Resilient Roamers. That is a chat channel, and Tabs has confirmed to me that this is open to anyone that wants to join. So yeah, if you feel like doing some PvP, some roams in somewhat more organized and bigger fleets, I think this is perfect for you. He's asked me to join a few times already. Unfortunately, my schedule has never worked out, but I will try to join at least one of these Resilient Roamers roams. And yeah, it looks like a lot of fun, and I definitely wanted to give him a shout out because it feels like this is something that's pretty damn organized. He's really on top of things, and he follows up quite extensively on anything related to these roams. So yeah, Resilient Roamers, if you want to check them out. We are here for the market, of course, and this could be an interesting one given that Burn Jita is happening at the moment. But we will start with plex as we always do, and that puts me at around 245. And I'm seeing 715 for the seller, for the buyers, 727 to 728 for the sellers. So that's a little bit more on the flat side here in the last week or so. Yep, definitely flattening out at around the 725 million mark, which is good news. I think a lot of people will be waiting for what happens and what gets announced next week at FanFest. And depending on that, we might see a new movement with the plexes. As I've said, FanFest could actually increase the price even further. We've been waiting more than a year now for a pullback of plexes, except right here maybe a very small spike back down. But yeah, it's been going up from below 520 to 720 million in just 1 year straight up. I do personally expect a pullback somewhere around the summer, but it's been going up for so long and so steadily, of course, that the market is just expecting higher and higher prices for plexes, and so that barrier needs to be broken, I think, before we'll see plexes coming down. And with FanFest and the summer expansion, which could be very fast, because CCP has been releasing their expansions a little bit more quickly than what we were used to a few years ago. This could actually mean no significant movement or even an upswing in plexes in the short term, which would not really be what I want personally, because I want to make that plex investment this year as well. But yeah, there you have it. That's the situation we're in at the moment. Let's have a look at minerals. Those were not doing too badly in the last few weeks. It looks like titanium has been stabilizing up, and I should write down something like 430 for minerals. Like titanium has been stabilizing at around the 530 mark. Let's have a quick look here. 533 for the sellers. Are we seeing some bigger ones coming in here? Well, actually here, 532, almost 2 billion units. So that is this one, this one, this one, and even more than that already here at the 532 mark. So yeah, this is going to continue to go up slowly. I'm clearly seeing much more demand than supply here at the moment in the mineral market, which is pretty damn interesting. Let's have a look at pyrite here. The one is slowly correcting a little bit. Actually, data points are all over the place. Look at that. 1230, 1270, back 1235, 1265. Over the month, it's flat to stable. Let's have a quick look at the 3-month chart. Well, actually, a 3-month chart slightly down, so that's pretty interesting. I'm surprised that titanium has been able to hold on so well. On the other hand, keep in mind supply-demand situation. I mean, I'm seeing a big order here, 100 million units that has just come in at 1234. But look at that, 400 million, 500 million units. All of these are pretty recent as well, and competing for prior buy order 1233. So that is, let me see, right here, and just right underneath the sell order prices. So something is going to have to give in pyrite here because of the increased demand that is just continuously competing higher and higher. So yeah, right now, look at that. This one buy order is going to be able to pick up this entire first page of sell orders. Once this gets done, yeah, we're probably going to see a jump to like 1247, 1248, something like that, where the next big order is. So yeah, do expect actually pyrite to start to come back and start going up a little bit. It's all of this demand that is apparently present. Let's have a look at Mexalon. I'll quickly start off with the supply-demand situation. Look at that here, 151 million units, the first sell order here, coming in at 300 million units at almost 50 ISK. So that one has been going up and now stabilizing at the 50 ISK mark. That one though, look at that one buy order, 49.57 ISK. It's a pretty big order and it's a pretty high price. So there is upwards pressure here as well. 151 million, 300 million, 204 million, 135 million. Definitely bigger orders than what you're seeing on the sell order side. More demand than supply in the mineral market. It's definitely here. Isogen also up for the month, up a little bit as well. I would say 2 weeks ago, something like that. Now stabilizing at the 135 price point. But here again, look at these very small sell orders and these big buy orders, 44 million, 51 million and 22 million, the most recent ones, competing closer and closer to the 135 price point. So this is also upward pressure for the isogen market. Noxium then up for the entire month. So yeah, this is definitely a similar situation. Except, yeah, look at that here, 14 million units being bought. That's way bigger than anything you're seeing on sell order side. These are pretty recent as well, 731. So is 730, that's a little bit lower than this entire chart though, so it's a little bit more spiky on something like Noxium because it's a higher price. But yeah, I am still seeing more demand than supply even here in Noxium. Now for the nullsec ones, the situation is probably a little bit different. Usually it's actually the sell orders that dictate the situation, and so this is pretty stable for Zydrine. Let's have a look at Megasite here. It took a bounce up, but overall for the entire month this is a pretty stable chart. It's something drastic happens. Yeah, it looks like supply might be drying up. Look at these small sell orders here. People are trying to ride the upswing for the high-sec minerals a little bit for Megasite, I think. And then finally we have Morphite. What is that looking like? Yeah, stable to down a little bit. Keep in mind though, Morphite is something completely different. 7,000 ISK for one piece of Morphite, and it's also related to the Tech 2 production, not to the Tech 1 production. So it's a little bit normal that Morphite is going against the trend. It's actually a little bit different. But actually one of my viewers is the one that requested I do take a look at Morphite when it comes to the mineral market, but it's a little bit of the black sheep of minerals at the moment. Anyways, that's pretty interesting, you know, more demand than supply for minerals. Let's have a look if there's an impact, a visible impact on Tech 1 chips, and that's at 945, something like that. The Drake has been going up, especially the 20-day moving average. You can see that that one's bumped up maybe 500,000, something like that. So not really that much, but a nice little spike and correcting back here though. So the Tech 1 chips do have their own supply-demand situations going, and over here, you know, 18 drakes, 12 drakes, 25, 11 drakes. This is pretty much a balanced market in my opinion, and so yeah, we might just be seeing the 20-day moving average start to move pretty much sideways. Price band here 47 million, 46 million. 46 is actually here and there, so yeah, it actually needs to correct a little bit, but overall it's going to move pretty much sideways. Keep in mind also here the price band for the entire chart is only from 45.6 to 48.4 million. That's not a lot, and that is a sign that it's actually pretty stable over the last month, despite the fact that you're seeing these spikes on this chart right here. Next up, the Maelstrom. Yeah, again pretty stable supply-demand situation, except for this one weird order, and here 20 of them putting a serious ceiling because it's a sell order. The rest of it is pretty much normal, you know, 165, 132, 33 here on the buy orders. This is a pretty stable and normal market. The omen's gone up here. That's yeah, supply, definitely look at that. There is a supply drying up here. For some reason people aren't bringing that many omens to the market. This is probably pushing up the price. Keep in mind though, once we go a little bit higher, like 11 million, 12 million, over here you are seeing big orders, so this will be short-lived, but yeah, it did spike up to 11 million, and we need some supply to come in, because apparently buyers are interested in some omens, and they are coming in here with a price of 10.5 million, so not that bad. That's right around here. Yeah, that's actually pretty good to see some buy orders here for the omen. So that one's up a little bit. The rock, that's again a sideways movement for the entire month, so pretty stable and pretty well supplied. Yeah, a little bit more supply than the month, but that's also coming in at like 204, 209 million, so that's a little bit more. But people are actually buying rocks at the moment as well, so 194, something like that on the buyer side, meaning a well supplied market and a pretty stable one. Talos is up. This could be Burn Jita related a little bit. Talos is not such a bad gang ship, going from 71 to 79 million. I'm not seeing it on the buy order side, so this could just be some fleets maybe for the Burn Jita that have bought up a lot of Taloses in preparation for this. And so now we are seeing a price from 77 to 79, almost 80 million for a Talos. Not bad, you know. I might just produce a few myself and bring them to the market at these prices. But that's a pretty good movement here, and this could be related to the gank potential for Taloses. Next up, we'll have a look at Tech 2 ships. I'm writing down 1305, something like that. This is always Tech 2 ships are always the ones that I look for trade opportunities. Here the Absolution you see coming back down from a serious spike, so probably back in more of a buy order territory. Yeah, look at that, but that's a beautiful spike showing the trade potential of some of the Tech 2 command ships, which is something that I do like to check. Here we come from a pretty big spike. Here is a new one. It needs to go down a little bit more, you know. Once it breaks 190, that's when it becomes interesting. Although 195, it's not bad to start buying maybe some Absolutions and try to unload them when another one of these spikes happen. Astarte, no, just not low enough just yet, a little bit too stable. You do see that there are spikes, but it's just a little bit too early at the moment. Claymore is coming closer and closer to the 200 million point. In fact, the data point is right on there, so keep an eye out on what the Claymore might be doing. This is a 6-month chart where I like to look at the trend. Here again you can see nice 30 million jumps here on the Claymore, then a correction to 200 million, back up towards 220, and now it's coming back down again here. If this data point is any real indication, yeah, look at that, 210 million, 200 million for the buy orders. You know, if this goes down even more, you could see this spike up happen again, just because there is no real supply here. These 51, that's maybe a little bit of a problem, so yeah, maybe a little bit too early if I look a little bit closer to it. but once you see the chart heading for this 200 million price band, this could be interesting. The Damnation working on a very high spike here again. Look at that, from 220 to 240, not bad. 20 million jump just like that here. 215 to 250, pretty good. 35 million jump here. Damnation, very good chips for trade potential. Unfortunately, at the moment you're looking at sell opportunity. The EOS, that one's going down quite significantly towards 280. Some data points breaking 275, 266 for buyers. A lot of supply. This might be time to purchase an EOS if you want to use it, or to consider stocking up on a few. Look at where it comes from. It could become interesting, honestly. The Guardian again working on a nice low point at 135, needs to be closer to 135 before we see the spike here, so it might just be a little bit too early. But the Guardian, I do like this one. Look at that, nice spike here, nice spikes in the middle of the chart as well. So a nice spike right at the beginning, because I think my mouse cursor is off because I'm frapsing some burn Jita stuff as well. So yeah, nice spike right here at the beginning. Once it broke 130, some good spiky behavior in the middle as well, and now it's already broken 135. If the price comes closer to 130, buyers need to be a little bit lower, but then that's good indication that it might start to take off again. Nighthawk generally a little bit too stable, except for the one big spike here, so yeah, be careful there. Sleipnir coming down from a pretty big spike, 215 to 260. That's not bad if you were trading Sleipnirs, and now slowly going back down. So it's gonna take some time, I think, for the Sleipnir to come back into buy range. And then the Vulture, oh, nice spike here. Look at that. Came close to 205, which again is the bottom where the previous spike happened, and then jumped up to 250. Nice 45 million spike. Of course, right now we're in sell order territory for the Vultures. Moving on to Tech 3 ships then at around 17 minutes. Let's have a look here. Legion spiking up. That's pretty good there, heading for 140. Unfortunately 69 coming in at 139 million. As I've said, prices for Tech 3 ships are extremely low. You are seeing supply demand drying up. People are not that willing to produce legions below 125 million, but once the price spikes up, supply comes in right away. So this is going to be short-lived. 69, that's a tall order to clean up in one go. And so yeah, this is just it's a nice little spike, but it's going to be short-lived. It gets plugged by additional supply right away. Loki still hanging very low, below 125. Sell orders, yeah, just above 125. Buy orders 120, and we're still seeing 60, 77 of them coming in, so this is not going to change anytime soon. Proteus again hanging at the 135, oversupplied. Look at that, again 66 of them coming in below 135 million. And then the Tengu here 124 million, 24.5 million, but still 33 of them coming in, pretty recent order. None of that on the buyer side. Tech 3 market way oversupplied. Any spike up in price draws the attention of people that are just waiting to unload them at slightly better prices. So yeah, this is not going to change anytime soon unless CCP decides to do something drastic with Tech 3 ships. And then finally, did I write down? Yeah, I think so. Finally, I want to have a look at some of the gank ships. Let's see if Burn Jita has done anything to some of the gank ships, like the Catalyst. Yeah, looks like it really did here. Coming from 1 million, now we are looking at 1.5, 1.6 million for a Catalyst. 60% increase in price. Catalyst, of course, one of the best ganking ships out there. And I actually forgot to write them. I think it's around 19 minutes for a look at gank ships. But this is clearly the Burn Jita spike. Some people, do want to add to the ganking that's going on, so they are actually starting to buy catalysts off the market, stuff like that. I think the Kaldari Cormorant is also one that I've seen used quite a little bit. Not that drastic in the spike, or maybe just not that visible yet. It worked on a pre-burn Jita spike to 1.4 million, and now it's heading back up. You're actually, yeah, completely dried up. You're looking at 2 million ISK for a Cormorant. Again, this is a burn Jita thing that has happened to one of the ganking ships. And then finally, I think it's the Thrasher that is being used a little bit as well. Well, a little bit, probably pretty damn popular, from around 1 million, again spiking up. Currently you're looking at 1.8 to 1.9 million for a Thrasher. That's almost 100% increase in price because of burn Jita. So yeah, it's definitely had its impact. It's going on right now. If you want to come in and watch some burn Jita, be warned. When there's a lot of people on the server, you know, during the normal high times, you've got an enormous amount of tie-dye, and so that if you don't want that, you know, avoid Jita. If you want to watch some freighters blow up, and some big fleets of Thrashers, Catalysts and stuff like that warping around with becoming criminals, and then Concord coming in to pop them, yeah, head over to Jita, because burn Jita is happening as well. Anyways, that's it for this Eve Talk, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time.